sound now? How are we doing on sound? How are we doing on sound? Good? Good morning, good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Can you guys hear me okay? I think that the internet at this spot is not going to be the best, but we'll do our best with what we have. I'm traveling at the moment. How's this? Is that better? Check, check. There we go. How's that one sound? Better? Good? How are we doing on sound? Good? So, our picture quality may not be the best because I'm on the Cape, so be it. So, we're going to, hey, how are you? Yeah, I mean, I'm traveling right now, so it is what it is. Hopefully we can improve it. I'll just see if I can swap to another internet here, but it's the fun of being on the road. So what we wanted to talk about, presuming the internet can hold out a little bit, is the ability to pick up any scale and be able to play. And this is something that applies to every single Rav scale, every single Rav Moon scale. And you can kind of make use of this on a handpan as well. And really, the secret to being able to play on every single scale is knowing the relationship of the bottom four notes. So if I'm walking up, right, these bottom four notes are pretty much what's going to allow me to be able to move around and write a composition. The top half of every single scale is just in support of the bottom half of the instrument. And you can kind of explore different ways of approaching this, but I find that if I'm writing, just paying attention to these bottom four notes is more than enough to allow me to write a composition. Can you guys hear me okay? Audio is still okay? Make sure. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me all right. So if the first thing you want to do to be able to pick up any scale and play it is really simply to take it, if you want to play any scale, and count up until you hear the octave note. So if I'm starting on the center, okay? So if I'm on the center, oh good, okay, fantastic. So if I'm on the center, on the chord scale, I know that the 4 is my octave note. And you can really just cheat if you wanted to and find it on the virtual player. And that will still allow you to do the same process. Depending on how many notes it takes to get to your octave note, that's really the number of potential chord movements that you have. Because of this, I know that if I'm using the 1, 2, 3, or the 4, I have 4 different, essentially root note or chord progressions to use for this. So say I started with the 1, and I wanted to make something that sounded interesting with the 1. I can combine any of the top notes that go with the 1 and walk down or up with that. So we'll walk up, we'll say we'll do 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? And again, I'm normally playing like this, but I'm just showing you guys this way. So playing the 1, if I walk up 4, 5, 6, 7, I can hear the relationship of that 1 with the 4. Now I'm going to try the same thing with the 2 and walk up 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 and 4, 5, 6, 7. That still is an okay relationship. Now I'm going to try the 3 and the 4. That's an okay relationship. I don't love the sound of the 3 and the 4 together, so I'm not going to use that. And obviously the 4 is our anchor point, so we can also try the center. Okay, so now we know the relationship of the 4 to these bottom 3 notes. What if we move up to the 5? So I'm going to walk up 5, 6, 7, 8, starting with the 1. I like it. It's kind of minor sounding. Here's the 2. That has a lot of tension. That'd be good in passing, but not as a primary thing. Here's the 3. And here's the 4. It's okay. And then the center. So we've decided that a lot of the 2 relationships in the top half of the instrument are a little bit dissonant sounding. So the 2 is probably going to be one that we're not going to use all the time when we're playing. So we can move over to the 3 and try that same thing. So for the 3, we'll start from, we know the 4 doesn't work already. So we're going to start from the 5 this time. So 3 and 5. That relationship sounds great. We can also try with the other notes. So we do the... and then the 1 and 3. And then center and 1. So we've established we have 4 notes up until the octave, and now we're able to tell the relationship of them. And you can really cheat anytime you know where the octave note is, the dyads that are below that octave note. So in this case, the 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, and 4, 6. Those are our primary dyads that are going to really tell us what songs we have possible on this. So if I was just using the 1 and 3 to start with, we play something. And listen to the relationship to the rest of the notes. If I go to the 2 and the 4. Same thing for the 3 and 5. Same thing for the 4 and the 6, although we're kind of limited. Now, if I was playing a scale that was a little bit stranger than that, I can apply the same concept, where I'm taking a look at where the octave note is. So this is the Hejaz, right? And I know that on the Hejaz scale, this is the D Rav Moon Hejaz, the octave note is right here. And when I'm using this, I have 1, 2, 3 until that octave. And this means that up until this point, I'm able to use this as a chord progression. The difference on this scale is that this particular note also works in that case. So the Hejaz is a little bit different than other scales. So you can kind of adjust based off of which one you're working with. And I find that I'm able to sort of move a little bit more fluidly if I start from those positions. So here again is if I'm walking down from the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll try the same thing with the 1 to hear how it relates. I like that relationship. Same thing with the 2. Same thing with the 3. And all we're really doing is getting a sense for where the relationships are. We don't need to know the note names. We just have to listen to, do I like the sound? Does it sound bad when I combine the 1 with another note? And you can just walk up. 1 and 3 is a good combo. 1 and 4 is okay. 1 and 5, it's fine. 1 and 6, 1 and 7, and 1 and 8. So when we're doing that, we're just listening for what notes sound complementary to each other. And oftentimes when notes sound dissonant, they're half step apart, or they're just not part of the same relationship. And it's kind of like if you were playing chords on a guitar, if you picked 2 notes that were just right next to each other on a fretboard, they would sound like they were sort of fighting against each other. A half step, whether it's on like the B chord and it's F sharp to G, or B flat to B on some scales, those 2 notes don't like to be played together. So you really just have to pay attention to what ones do not work, and the rest of them are open to you to use as you wish. So let me give you an example on the chord scale, or on the Hejaz. So if I was writing a piece on here, and I want to do 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6. And I'm going to take my right hand to do that. If you guys have any questions as well, please sure to write it in the chat. Hopefully the audio is okay, and hopefully the video is okay. I know this isn't the best service where I am, but it's something. So I'm going to walk up 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6 with my right hand. And my left is going to be starting on a root note. So, for example, 1 is going to be here. So I'm going to do 1 and 5, 6, 1, 7, 1 and 5, 6, 1, 7, 1 and 5, 6. And you can kind of hear that relationship here. If I move to the 2, listen to what happens with the 5, 6, 7. Not bad. If I move to the 3, that also works in the center. So all you have to do to make a song out of this is pick something for the right hand to do, whether it's a 3-3-2 pattern, whether it's just 4 beats in a row, and then build from that point. So I'm just going to pick random notes. Throw out just a series of notes for me. Pick center 1, 2, or 3, whoever's in the chat, and I'll use that note to create a song using this style. And I'll also try it on the chord after that. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I know there's a bit of a delay between us, but once you guys get this, pick me a note, and I will try and find the best fit to go along with that. Seven, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I like it. I like it. Okay, the video's not that bad. Okay. All right. So 7, 3, 2, 1. I like it. 7, 3, 2. I like that. So that walk down actually is kind of a cool melody on the Hejaz. And you can just literally just throw out numbers on your scale and then combine one of the root notes with that. So I'm going to combine the center with it when I hit the 7. 7, center, 3, 2, 1. Center and 7, 3, 2, 1. If I want to keep the same shape that she created, I can say I'm going to change the high note. So I'm going to make it an 8, 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to keep the center. I like that. I could make the 6 the highest note and do 6, 3, 2, 1. And I can do the 5 and do the same exact thing. So all altogether, that would be 7, 3, 2, 1. Again. 8, 3, 2, 1. 8, 3, 2, 1. 6, 3, 2, 1. 6, 3, 2, 1. 5, 3, 2, 1. 5, 3, 2, 1. Someone throw me out some other numbers, and I'm going to play that with that change in there. So. So if we were to apply the same deal to the pygmy, let's try on the pygmy. It had 7, 3, 2, 1 on here. That one kind of works. If you're moving your idea to a different scale, sometimes you have to modify it to make sure it fits and it kind of makes sense for that instrument. So in this case, I'm going to change it from 7, 3, 2, 1 to what other high note do you want me to start on? Pick me 4 other notes to use. And I'll play a little bit while I wait for you guys. Around on the G Pygmy. If you're ever looking for a way to sort of spice up your playing a little bit, you can make use of knuckles in your playing. And if you do sort of a tapping, you can change it so that you're getting a little less of the percussive sound and more of the note itself. So if I'm hitting it, I'm using just this part of my knuckle here. And I'm trying to aim for this area on the note. I'm not getting the harmonic necessarily, but I'm in this space where the note's been tuned. And that's going to give me a little bit less of the plunky sound and more of the actual note sound there. So, highly recommended. Whoever's watching this, throw out 4 numbers for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, depending on which one, or center. And I'm going to try to write something using that concept I was just talking about. And we'll see what we can do with that. I'll play a little bit while you guys wait. So we've got 8, 6, 5, 4, and 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so let's try 8, 6, 5, 4. Oh, I like that actually on here. So again, I'm taking my left hand, which I've said is going to be the one in charge of the root note, and I'm picking a root note. So in this case, I'm going to do the 1 with my left hand, and I'm going to use my right hands to play the melody on the top. 8, 6, 5, 4. And I'm going to do together, separate, together. And I can change the roots. And I'll change it to 3. And I can go to the center. Super simple way of writing a song. And let me change the view so you can see me a little bit better. And again, I was doing 8, 6, 5, 4. And I was changing it to the 2 as the root. 3 is the root. And then center. Okay, David, let's see yours. 1, 3, 5, 7. That'll be a pretty easy one. I may swap scales, but I want you to hear it on both of these. So here's 1, 3, 5, 7. So I could do the same rhythm that I was doing before, but because I'm using the 1, I could probably dodge that 1 and start with the center. Or I could go to the top. And all I'm doing again is my right hand's playing the melody. 1, 3, 5, 7. And my left hand is playing together, in between. So separate, together. Together, in between, together, in between, separate, together. Same time, between this strike, and together. And I'm walking down, I'm staying in the 8 o'clock. Makes a huge difference on the 8, yeah. On the 1, it doesn't really work too well, or the center, because this is oriented towards the left. So it wants us to kind of write a melody on this side. But because of that, we can do something really cool if we're walking up one side of the instrument. If we position our hand halfway between the walk up here, then we can kind of make it feel like we're walking up the scale normally. Listen to how it sounds when I put my left on the 4. Versus the center. It doesn't quite work the same way. Or the 6. It's okay. But really the 4 or the 8 are the main ones that sound nice. Give me another melody. Also, give me a dyad if you want, and we'll apply the same logic to it. So I could do a dyad with one hand and then a melody with the other hand. Let me know when you guys think of one. I will add that to my movement here. Also, any questions you guys about these instruments, handpans, Rav Moons, feel free to ask them. I know Rav isn't really here this stream because they're resting and recovering, my friend at Rav, so I will try to answer everybody in here if anybody comments after the video is over or during the video. 4 and 2 together, 6, 5, and 1. Ooh, I like it. Okay, all right, I like it. So Pygmy, that's a great choice because the Pygmy has, these two guys are sort of the home base. It's the 2 and the 4. 6, 5, and 1. Okay. So if I were to walk down the 6 and 5 work, if I took off the 2 in that dyad, that would work. So 6, 5, 1, 6, 5, 1. With the 4, it works fine because it doesn't have the conflicting 2. I can change it to 7, 5, 1, 8, 5, 1, 7. And I want you to listen. If I move to the 2, listen how it kind of is dissonant with the 1. It's because these two notes clash with each other. Can you hear that? They're kind of like beating against each other. The irony with this particular scale is that unlike most Ravs and most handpans, there are horizontal notes that work together. So in this case, I could do 3, 5, and 4, and that sounds fine. I could do 2, 4, 5. And I could also do 1, 3, 4. All very unusual. But one of my songs actually is based off of that relationship. Yes, I agree. Ew. I agree. So let's try the same thing using the Kurd scale so we can get a sense of that. So, using the 2-4, I like the 2-4, and 6, 5, and 1. So 6. Ooh, that sounds completely different on the Kurd scale because of the difference in the intervals. So because these two notes are a half step apart, they do not work together. So if I wanted to use this, I'd have to use the 4 and leave out the 2 as part of the dyad. So this is the 6, 5, 1 with the 4. That totally works. If I try the 7, 5, 1, or the 8s, 9, all of those work. The point being here is that you really could just pick random notes, use your ear, and then be able to write a piece just by listening to what you're playing. The problem that people have oftentimes is they're not using their ear and not training their ear enough when they're writing. And you can know all of the notes you want on a handpan or on a Rav, but if you can't hear the relationship between notes, you're going to be relying on that crutch of where's the B flat, where's the F, where's the C? And if you pick up someone else's scale, then you're going to have to really search for wherever those notes are. And oftentimes you don't have the same notes from one scale to another. So it's better to know the position. And then later on, you can add the note names if you want to add the note names. But where Ravs and handpans are such pattern-based instruments, it totally makes sense to do that. Throw me some other numbers. Any of the numbers you want. Pick a dyad pair or a triad. So 2 notes that are next to each other or 3 notes that are next to each other. And then throw me out some other numbers that sound strange or interesting, and I'll try to play those. I'll try it on the jazz while you guys write me something else. Also, feel free to ask any questions you guys have. Hopefully the data is going okay right now. We'll see. All right. Let's take a look at this. Oh, the video actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Excellent. All right. So if we were to do the same thing on the Hijaz using the 651. Ooh, that's very spicy sounding. So on this one, we'd have to really find a way to incorporate another note with this because it's very dissonant sounding. So let me try it with the 8. It's okay, it doesn't work quite as well on that, but you can also reverse the order of things and sometimes it'll work. So if I did 1, 5, 6, that may solve the problem. So all I did was flip that. Instead of doing 6-5-1, I did 1-5-6, and suddenly it sounds like something. So this is what it would look like on my lap. Oops. So instead of doing 6-5-1, I reversed it and did 1-5-6. And I tried to do and then 2-5-6. 3-5-6. 4-5-6, 1-5-6, 2-5-6, 3-5-6, 4-5-6, pretty fun. All right, any questions? If not, I'm going to play a couple tunes for you guys. One of them is Ouroboros, and another one is going to be on this Hijaz. So as I'm playing these songs, feel free to write any questions you have. Next week, I'm going to be back home again, and we're going to be doing a couple different things. I'm going to be doing a full lesson introducing you to a rhythm that I really like. And we're going to be starting to offer maybe every other week a free Zoom lesson that I'm going to be hosting. And people can get a little discount to new students that want to start one-on-one lessons. And this is a great way to get a free lesson. Yeah, you should. This will be a great way to get a free lesson in for people that are just starting or maybe some new ideas. And then those people can sign up for future one-on-one lessons if they want them to. So let me play you a couple pieces. If you have questions, feel free to write them. How's it going? Enter Existence. I'm on Cape Cod at the moment, so I'm not in my normal place in Lunenburg. All right, so this is the G Pygmy. I'm going to play you a little tune on this guy. guess the count that this is in, or how I would divide this up if you haven't done it in lessons with me yet. Now, the interesting thing about a song like that is if I move it to a completely different scale and I play the same notes, same melody, A, it's going to sound different because the intervals are different. And B, yes, you got it, good job. And B, it means that if I have the same relationship, like on here, the 4 and the center are still octave, just like on the pygmy. So I can play something that feels very similar to that, but it's going to have a completely different relationship. So listen to this. So I have to modify it to fit this scale. That is true. I hear you have a great teacher. And it's funny, you can pretty much take the same song you've written and apply it to different scales and have a new song. That's strange, and even on the Hijaz, I think we probably could get it to work on the Hijaz. This is the advantage of actually writing things down as well. If you write down your material, you are able to move it across things and work on it and develop it. I'm actually running a songwriting workshop right now where people are writing their first song sometimes, and they've been able to develop pretty amazing pieces so far. I'm very impressed with what they've done. Scoot you up a little bit. But it's great to have a piece that you can repeat, you can offer to other people and play, and it just helps refine you as a musician to be able to repeat something and work on it. So this is that same piece if I were to play it on the Hijaz. So for this one, the 4 is not the note that I would want to use as a repetitive note. I'd want to use the 3. if you guys have done this yet on your moons, but this area is tuned. So you can kind of use it as a shoulder. So I'm playing it. Show you again on here. I don't know if you guys can see it in here, but I find the bracing system on the moons really interesting because it looks like it's cut into four, and you can correct me, Andre, if you're watching this. It looks like it's cut into four hemispheres, but there's some sort of an attachment for the bracing system in between. So you can see really the four distinct pieces there. Also, what do you guys think of this new camera? I just bought this the other day. We picked it up to help the quality of the stream. I think it looks a lot better. But I find the new design really fascinating. Pretty amazing instrument. All right, if you have any song requests, let me know. If not, I'm going to play Soulifaction. And sort of our review is, if you find where your octave note is on any scale, it's the 4 on this one, it's the 4 on the Pygmy, you are able to basically orient yourself to how many notes you have to play for your root notes and how many notes you have as melodic notes, and build from there. So, okay. So this is Soulifaction. And then I'm going to cut out. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I think I know everybody in here, so probably not. Hopefully this notice will go out sooner next week, so more people will be in it. But thanks for hanging out, everybody that hung out, and appreciate you guys. right, guys. Thank you for dealing with the quality of this stream. Hopefully it wasn't that bad. It seems like it was okay when I checked on my phone. If you would like to see more tutorials on Rav's page, be sure to either write to me, Rewild Your Soul on Instagram, rewildyoursoulmusic.com, and put up any ideas you have for tutorials. I'm going to be re-reviewing every single scale in the coming month or so. So the B chord is the one that's coming up next, and just going through them again because I reviewed them 7 years ago now. So and I've been playing for 10 years or 11 years now. So it'd be good to go back to some scales that I know very well and talk to you about them again. So thank you guys for hanging out. It was a pleasure as always, and I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your evening. And look for a new video coming out, I think tonight on my channel, just Rewild Your Soul. And if you're interested in one-on-one lessons, I offer song-based lessons for people at all skill levels. Many people in here are students of mine, actually. So talk to you guys soon. Stay well, and thanks, Rav, as always, for your support. Talk to you soon.